All right. From DynaswayConcussion, I'm the specialist Kalena. I'm in the Master's of Science program of Rehabilitation Science.
I'm Sam. I'm an MASC student in biomedical engineering.
And I'm Enrique. I'm an MASC student in computer engineering.
All right, so concussions are the most common brain injury occurring in 150,000 Ontarians annually, with over a quarter of these being sports related. So we've decided to create a balance assessment tool for athletes, coaches, and trainers to use. And this is because current balance assessments don't give a quantitative assessment of balance variables. So it's very easy for athletes to lie about their symptoms to return to sport early, which could lead to further injury. So we've created a difficult cognitive and balance combined task to evade this problem. So for the demo, I will be Coach Kalena.
I'm Sam, professional athlete who plays for Kalena's team.
And I'm Enrique, software engineer behind DynaswayConcussion.
All right, so every year during the preseason, I get my athletes to complete baseline testing, just in case they sustain a concussion through the season, so I can track them compared to their baselines. And I've noticed that some of my athletes are able to get over the baselines I've been using and return to sport, which has led to worse injury in the past. But this year I heard about this app that has quantitative values, which could probably help me. So I created a coach profile. And Enrique, how do I get started?
Well, I see that Sam has created his profile as well. So you want him to show you his profile code, which he can do right there. And then that QR code, you have to scan it via the Connect to an Athlete button on your homepage. You just scan it, refresh the homepage, and there's Sam.
Awesome. I can see Sam in my list now. So just like any other season, it's time to complete your baseline testing.
Okay, Coach, so I can see that I can navigate to the tests here, and I'm presented with two options, static tests and dynamic tests. What do these mean?
So from what I know, in balance testing, it's very important to test your balance when you're standing still and when you're walking. So in static testing, it's going to measure your center of mass, and after a concussion, these values will increase. And in dynamic testing, it's measuring the velocity of your walking, which after a concussion will decrease.
Okay, so I actually completed all my tests except for one. I can see that up here I haven't done my regular standing test. So I can navigate to static test and go to regular stance. And I'm presented with some instructions to place the phone in my waistband and remain as still as possible for the duration of the test. So I'm going to do that for my baseline test.
All right, well, we know that this is tracking center of mass, but Enrique, how is it doing that?
Well, it's good that you asked. So remember how the instructions said that you should place your cell phone on your waistband? This is because we're using the phone's accelerometer to measure center of mass sway. And thus, if you place your phone as close to your waistband as possible, that is the closest you can get to a person's center of mass. That's why we're doing this.
All right, looks like you've completed all your baselines. Time for the first game of the season.
Okay, let's go. And oh no, I have suffered a concussion in the first game of the season. How unlucky. What do I do now?
All right, time to complete your post-injury testing. Sam, I ask that you complete every single test every day so we can track your recovery.
Okay, so since my injury, coach has asked me to continuously use this app every day for my injury. I've been using the app a lot, and I can even see that it gives me some external resources to learn more about concussions and understand my condition better. If I navigate to tests, we already showed you how to do a static test. I've done all my tests for today, and I have one dynamic test left to do. So that would be the regular walk with the cognitive task. So if I click on it, the instructions tell me to record myself for a distance of about 3 meters in front of the camera and upload it. But I also see some cognitive instructions to count some numbers. Coach, why am I doing that?
So this is what I like about this app. It makes it just that one step more difficult. So while you're focusing on counting the numbers, you're not focusing on adjusting your velocity. So it gives us true post-injury velocity.
I see. So I can click on my post-injury test and it gives me the option to record or choose a video from the gallery. Since I already did these tests today, I can just upload it from my gallery.
All right, so I understand that you're tracking velocity with a video, but how's that happening?
Well, the video you just uploaded was sent to our server and is being run through a post-tracking algorithm, which will give us velocity in pixels per frame. However, this may vary depending on how far the person is from the camera in every video they record. So we normalize this to the upper arm length in pixels. We finally get meters per second by using the actual upper arm length in centimeters. And
oh, I see. So that's why the app actually asked me to record my upper arm when I was creating a profile.
Exactly.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Awesome. Looks like you've completed all your post-injury testing. So now I'm going to track you and look at your My Athlete page. If I click on your name, I can see all the tests that you've completed on today compared to your baseline values. And if you go back to April 6th, I can see some different values and see that you have been completing your test. And I can see that there's some progress being made. But will the app tell me when he's ready to return to play?
No, this isn't a diagnostic tool. This is an extra assessment tool to track the athlete's progress. This app does not interpret results. This is left to you and a medical professional only.
Awesome. This is a great tool to add to my process for tracking concussion recovery. Thanks, guys.
So as you saw in our demo, our application is divided into two main blocks of software, the actual Android app and a web server. If we take a look at the Android app, the main component is the testing block. This block includes the video capture, which are the libraries that allow the user to actually grab a video from gallery or record it inside the app. It also includes reading the accelerometer from the phone and calculating root mean square of the acceleration from center of mass. The results from this are uploaded to Firebase, which is our main storage solution. There's also other implemented libraries such as the authentication library or the Teams connection library, which includes the QR creation and scanning. Finally, the Android apps includes the calendar view to show the user's results. On the web server side, we have the velocity calculation, which is done by a post tracking algorithm called AlphaPost. This is also uploaded to Firebase.
All right, so for some future work, we would like to allow the user to have access to the video with the joint coordinates. Having testing with populations that have real concussions and athletes and trainers giving their feedback on how it works would be beneficial. And finally, the post-tracking component is an up-and-coming resource in gain balance research. So being able to implement what we've done here in other populations, such as Parkinson's or spinal cord injury, would be beneficial. And Sam's lab, who works with dementia and falls prevention, has already shown some interest in this part of our app.
As for the key learnings, first of all, we learned teamwork. So as a team, we all come from very different backgrounds. So of course, this gap exists between specialists and programmers, but even between Enrique and I, there was a big gap between our area of expertise. And we learned to have very frequent meetings, which makes working in parallel a lot easier, and it lets you not drift off. Secondly, for the image-based method, we were a little bit intimidated by that method. So we ended up doing a lot of plan Bs before implementing that method. Including built-in phone sensors. And if we were to do this again, we would just jump right into our plan with more confidence. And lastly, for the workload, we needed to do a little bit better quantification of our work hours because the app took a little bit longer than we had expected it to develop. That's it for our presentation. Thank you everybody for listening, and we're happy to answer any questions you might have now.